Hey y'all, I'll be back. Vibe out to this music for the time being. Okay, I'm here. Well, first of all, goodness, it feels like I'm in prison. Let me get a light. Let me get some light. I promise this is not a jail call. Let's turn the music up a little bit too, like a little bit more, a little bit more crunkness. Yeah. Does that work? Yeah. Can you see? If I feel like it's still blurred, it's still hard to see. It's just the setup that I got. But yeah, you can't see shit. Okay. Well, I'm in here, so that's all that matters, right? I'm in here. Let me just send out my last little invites because I didn't do that. I've been dealing with this damn Notion. I know everybody keeps saying Notion is so hard, but it's not though. It's just it's tech, it's tech. It's tech. Okay, so I'm gonna post. I did post it on the House of Wolf page, so y'all should be. Y'all should be getting the updates. Okay. So since this is a recorded call, this feels like a jail call. since this is a recorded line, we can't say too much. No, I'm just playing. See, I was in the middle of making my bed and all type of stuff. But today we are gathered here, like we do every month, for open house. And let me tell y'all, first of all, this is so different from what we were doing even a year ago. Let me see if I can get my light over here to get a little bit of, because I know it do look kind of crazy. So whoever end up watching this on the playback is going to be like, I can't see anything. I think she's in jail. So let me get myself situated, okay? And let's get a little poppin' playlist too. Let's do that. I got my signature. Y'all know I love to wear this on the Wolf days. I got my signature House of Wolf shirt on. You know when we used to have a 9 to 5 for those of us who no longer have 9 to 5s? And that's so awkward. I'm watching myself on my TV. That is fucking weird. What the hell? Oh shit, that's funny. I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Remember when we used to have 9 to 5s and they used to make us wear the company t-shirts and stuff, the company hats and whatever. That's the vibe. Granted, we're not in corporate America anymore, right? No more corporate America. Okay, let's see. Does this work? No. I'm telling you, I think it's just because of the setup. My desk is look, you kind of can see me. Look, my desk is like facing the window, which is facing the street. And so it's just not, the lighting aspect is just not, it's not bad lighting in here. It's just the location of my desk. But anywho, yeah, so remember when they used to have us wear the freaking company shirts and shit? So when I'm doing House of Wolf stuff, I like to wear my t-shirt because it just makes me feel, not like I'm at a job, but like this is official. Anywho, this is nothing, serious and well, it's serious, but it's not formal. So I don't want y'all to feel like, let me get my notepad. I don't want you to feel like I want y'all to get your notepad because I don't. Granted, you could definitely take notes here because certain things that I discuss during these open houses, like I said, they do happen twice a month. There will be noteworthy things in here, but ultimately this is an opportunity for me to gather with whoever is interested in being a part of House of Wolf and what we're building. If y'all want to build with us, this is the perfect place to meet us. This is where we pretty much talk about what House of Wolf has to offer and how that can help you on your journey. And, if you have things that you have to offer as well, this is where we'll start discussing things like the creative exchange and cozy nomad and things like that. Now, if you're already part of the inner circle, if you're already getting my emails, either you're getting the winner circle emails or you're getting the house friends emails. I just sent out an email yesterday and I ain't going to hold you. I haven't been getting my own emails. So I think the first thing I want to say is if you have signed up for my email list or if I've added you recently, check your spam because you may not be getting my emails in your inbox because I know that's where mine went. I like to send a test to myself just to make sure that I'm getting a visual of what you're getting, But anywho, it's February, y'all. It's February. My solar return just passed and this is crazy because I've been looking in the mirror at myself first of all and I'm like, okay, I am the same person, but I'm not the same person. I feel so, I don't know, it's just things feel so different now. Even what we're doing here at House of Wolf, obviously, same House of Wolf, but the motion is different, right? The rhythm is different and it feels nice. But ultimately, this past solar return for me, it made me realize that, as much as I've been so pressed about, oh, I need to get this perfected and I need to do this and I need to do it this way, I realized that shit, I'm already doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm already making a difference, And so that feels good for sure because I know one of my biggest pet peeves for myself is feeling like I'm wasting my time doing something. And not to say that I thought that I was wasting my time, but also I was expecting to see a particular type of result, but I was surrounded by the wrong people. So how was I going to get the result that I ultimately wanted? Well, shit, alignment, okay, proper alignment. So anyway, if you happen to come in here after this stream happens, definitely, if you're interested, head over to housewolf.co and check out what we got going on, because I have added some new things to the website. Granted, the website is not the entry point for real. It's just a way for us to give you guys like a landing space so you can see, you know, what we're doing, but ultimately what we're really doing, it can't really be felt until you step inside with us. So, um, yeah, my biggest thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is the creative exchange and cozy nomad, because I feel like those are two huge issues. First of all, capital, right? Creators being able to have access to all the resources that they need without having to worry about, like, well, I don't have the funds, I need to have enough money to be able to access that producer, or I need to have enough money to be able to get that particular flyer made, whatever it is. I want to create solutions that actually are, you know, helping us on this journey to be able to collaborate and to do that without hassle, and to do that without all the propaganda and shit too, because everybody wants to use the term community building these days, because they know that that's the activator, that's the spark, right? But like, the real listen, the real work happens when we stop talking about it and we're showing and proving. And I feel like what I've been doing with House of Wolf since 2019 is showing and proving. But again, I feel like I was also trying to build with the wrong people. And so now I'm just interested in making sure that I am, instead of putting out a mass broadcast, right? Inviting people, personally inviting people, and then when I'm not inviting people, if people are finding us, by word of mouth from somebody that's already inside or whatever the case may be, still ensuring that I'm vetting that person, because every creative ain't the right creative for what we're doing. Obviously, every community ain't your community, and so this community is specifically for multi-hyphenates. It's for cognitively diverse individuals. Those of you who recognize yourself as disruptors, if you recognize yourself as someone that's a builder, who is not really sitting around and waiting for the change to happen, you're just making the change, that's ultimately what House of Wolf exists for. We're building what doesn't exist. And everybody that comes into this space resonates with that, in their own respect, because they're doing something on an individual basis. They've been doing something, or they're ready to do something now, right? And they was just waiting to find us. So, yeah, Creative Exchange and Cozy Nomad. Cozy Nomad's official launch is supposed to be happening on the 19th, but it's a possibility that we are going to push that back. And, I've been saying this for some time now. Like, I don't give a shit about, if I said something, then it has to happen. No, if I say something and I feel like certain things don't align or don't, they're not right, yet, then I'm not going to just force something to happen. And so I say that to say Cozy Nomad may or may not be launching officially February 19th, because my biggest goal with Cozy Nomad is to create ways for you guys to have this space, this residency, and you don't have to worry about fees, And if you do have to worry about fees, having some type of system, some type of program in place to where you can earn those fees or earn that money, right? And pay for whatever it is that you need to pay for, but it all needs to be happening through this network basically. Now, this network isn't just House of Wolf, as you know, and House of Wolf isn't just House of Wolf. This is an entire ecosystem, and we span across food, music, real estate, art, design, fashion. Am I missing something? Probably. Wellness. So within our ecosystem, there are other brands and projects that we are operating quietly, um, that all make up this ecosystem, or we are partnered with other individuals, other brands, other organizations that are actively building something uh, for the creators and the artists in that resonates with what we're doing. Okay. So, all that being said, right now the Cozy Nomad waiting list is still open. If you are on the Cozy Nomad waiting list and you're watching this, because I told you to come, I have sent out emails. I haven't really heard back from too many people. So, I will say this: you got to make sure that you're checking your email, because I know when a lot of you guys first signed up, it was kind of like a lot of buzz at that time, and then things got a little bit quiet because I was focusing on building other aspects of this ecosystem. But again, it's ready. Okay, it's ready for people to come inside. Well, we're only accepting one resident right now at this time, but the goal again is to have Cozy Nomad functioning in a way where we're in multiple cities, multiple countries, and we have availability for you guys to come inside this residency and not have to worry about paying for your stay. Okay. Now, Cozy Nomad does function two ways. So we are technically a creative hospitality agency. So because we're technically not, I didn't create Cozy Nomad just to operate freely, right? But I did develop this residency side of Cozy Nomad, so that you guys can have an option for creative, uh, so that you can create and you don't have to worry about housing. I know when I started out on my creative journey, that was one of the biggest issues for me, not having a place to live, or having a place to live, but the environment was terrible for me to be able to create in, right? So I feel like that initial thought process when I started building Cozy Nomad was, well, first of all, I've been in the real estate aspect of things, right? And seeing how the real estate industry operates and how it's just trash pretty much, and wanting to make a difference in that respect. So that's where I came in from the hospitality agency side. But I ultimately was thinking about like this: I can form these partnerships with these property owners and help them to see how they can make their property matter, instead of focusing on the profit side of things, focus on the people side of things. And instead of being very biased about not wanting to rent to people who don't have traditional forms of income, right? So we're talking about people who create, they have their own businesses, they create independently, they're independent contractors, so they don't have regular W-2s and that sort of thing. Those of you who've been renting, you already know how hard it is to find landlords who are willing to rent to you if you don't have the traditional proof of income verification. And so I wanted to figure out how to reduce that barrier altogether by kind of showing property owners that just because somebody is a creative, just because somebody is an artist, doesn't mean that, number one, that their job isn't a real job, but number two, it doesn't mean that they're not reliable, doesn't mean that they're not responsible, doesn't mean that they won't be good renters, right? And I personally just believe that, the climate of real estate is going to change drastically anyway, because we're not in a consumer market anymore. As much as we got kind of addicted to that whole, aesthetic vibe, and I gotta live in the high rise, and I gotta have these certain objects to prove that I'm valid. I feel like people are moving back into that space where, like, shit, I do need to think about what the substance of it all, because I can't really survive in this climate. No one can survive in this climate. And I think where we're at now is kind of trying to figure out where do we go from here in terms of how the real estate market is set up. As you know, rents done went crazy, and I mean crazy. It's impossible for anybody to really, stay afloat these days unless they have, a roommate situation or whatever the case may be. But I'm trying to think about it from the perspective of, well, our long-term goal with Cozy Nomad and House of Wolf as a whole, as our ecosystem as a whole, right, is to have land in multiple locations and be able to create that access. But in the meantime and in between time, there's all this land out there being used by, again, people who are so focused on profit. So how do I get in their ear, talk to them about the long-term effects, because they're losing money because a lot of people can't afford to live in these places. So there's a lot of vacancies, right? And they need to figure out how to solve their issue, and I need to figure out how to solve y'all's issue. So that's why the Cozy Nomad functions in both ways. Um, I feel like it's an uphill climb for sure, but it's definitely possible, and it's just continuously talking to people, getting in front of people and just maintaining that momentum, because there are times where I'm just like, oh, this is so irritating, having to talk to people or emailing people consistently and telling them about my vision, and how to create an economy where the creatives and the artists are at the forefront and where they can truly thrive, right? And some property owners, they like some of what I'm saying, but then it always seems to circle back to the, oh well, I want to make this amount of profit. Yeah, and that's your problem. You too focus on making profit, but it's like, what does it all mean in the end? Like, I'm thinking about it from the perspective of, well, what about if we can create a revolving cycle of profit, right? And it's, instead of it being like, okay, I made this money, I'm putting it in my pocket. How about we feed the ecosystem with that profit? You understand? And so I just got to keep talking to people. I have to keep, staying inspired by what it is that I'm doing, because it can be discouraging, like I said, because it's not even the fact that people say no, because a lot of times they don't even outright say no. They're like, oh, well, let me see, let me take a look at what you sent me, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, as an intuitive, I can read between the lines, and I'm like, oh, well, you're still thinking in the traditional sense, right? Of how to be a property owner. And we don't live in that climate anymore, like I said. So I just I get irritated because I'm like, I don't want to have to convince this person. Granted, when I was a real estate agent, I was definitely, that was one of my strong points, being able to negotiate with property managers, being able to convince them to let my client rent even though they have certain thing on their credit or whatever the case may be. But I just feel like, again, this is something that doesn't exist. It's never existed before, this scale of residency. And so I can understand why property owners are thinking about like the risk and everything, but I also can understand why they need to shut up and listen to me, because we need to get this thing popping. And I know that other people are gonna jump on board, but I also know that, like I said, this is an uphill climb. So that's one thing. And then creative exchange, as I mentioned, this is our barter system. What I really want to do with the creative exchange is, first of all, open this option for anybody that I cross paths with, anybody that I've been speaking to in the last several months about any projects, and instead of focusing on, well, usually I would charge a client $500 to do this particular thing. I'm not going to charge you to do this particular thing, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide X, Y, and Z to you, and you're going to provide X, Y, and Z to me. So we're basically trading creative services. You got a particular set of skills, I got a particular set of skills, we trade them. Now, some exchanges within the creative exchange marketplace won't be a direct trade, right? Being a part of the creative exchange basically means that whatever you trade, you earn points for that, and those points, which technically is the currency, gets traded for whatever it is that you need later on down the line. Sometimes you won't necessarily need to receive anything at that time, right? But you're willing to give something. But because you're giving something, you're creating that flow, right? And so there's that. I have that linked on the website. So if you are watching this from the website, which you should be, but if you're not, if you're watching this from YouTube, you can just click on houseofwolf.co and the link for that. It's so funny to see myself on video. I'm looking at myself on my phone right now. It's hilarious. But yeah, houseofwolf.co for the creative exchange. Okay. And that's really it. Honestly, the rest of this month is really going to be dedicated to reaching out to people, like I said. Now, our target cities for Cozy Nomad will starting in Dallas, and then making our way to Mexico, and then Costa Rica, New York, and several other cities to follow. Now, if you have a city or a country that you have in mind where you're like, damn, it would be dope to have a Cozy Nomad location out in Timbuktu, you can always send that to me, and I'll be willing to consider it, to look at what, the current environment looks like, and all that jazz. Because ultimately what I'm doing is I'm curating spaces where artists can come and work, right? It's not like really just like a hangout vibe. It's a come and work. Now, Cozy Nomad does have a retreat option. The retreat options are 7, 14, and 30-day retreats. And those are more just like self-led. You do what you want to do, but they're not permanent spaces, right? The Cozy Nomad, the residency end of things, is a little bit more, you know, structured, and we have programming and that sort of thing, and that is on a 3, 6, and 12 month basis. So you could come in and pretty much, you stay there. Anything that you need creative wise, creative tool wise, will be provided by the Cozy Nomad. If you're a music artist, for instance, there will be a booth there, right? There will be instruments there. If there are not instruments there, our creative concierge will come and bring those things to you. If you're a fashion designer, for instance, we'll bring the sewing machine, we'll bring the garment racks, all of that. And me personally, the reason why I created this is because I'm thinking about, well, shit, I wish I would have had this available to me when I first started my creative journey. I want it now. I need it now. I mean, I have it technically. I'm good. I have all that. But the point being is, when you go somewhere, when you're traveling somewhere as a creative, as an artist, you typically don't have these things available to you. You are renting an Airbnb or a hotel, and that space that you're staying at, it may have like cool little inspiration within the space here and there, but it's not specifically set up to cater to you and what you need as an artist. And so my thought process behind having a booth and that sort of thing is just, I remember when I was creating things, traveling different places, and I'm like, damn, this space doesn't even feel inspiring. This place doesn't even make me feel like I could, if I wanted to write something, I can't really get my creative juices flowing because the space is dull. um and even if it's run down, don't get it twisted. Even a shack, okay, can have those creative aspects added to it. And even just having a studio in there, like, you're not going to be like, oh man, this space is run down, I can't create. Because I feel like the more rundown spaces, granted, the goal is not for you to be in a rundown space, but the more rundown a space is, you can't lie, that story behind that space, it kind of like sparks that creative juice in you. It's like, this space has some challenges, some blemishes, but that kind of compels you on a creative level too. It's like it forces you to think more creatively and to get resourceful, right? And so I think personally, how I see things, if we're being realistic about this thing, within the next 3 months, we can at least have 3 spots secured within the United States, right? And I say that because like I don't plan on going to Mexico tomorrow. I don't plan on going to Mexico tomorrow, but one of the biggest things is I don't want to create a space like a partnership with a space in Mexico, and I haven't actually like looked at that space physically myself, right? Because that'd be horrible to set something all up for you and then you get there and it's roaches. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm thinking about how when I first got here, not where I'm living now, but when I first got to where I was living prior to this, no, nobody told me nothing, and I had reserved that space for 2 months, and reserving that space for 2 months, and then getting there and finding out the real conditions. I was like, this is the type of stuff that I'm trying to avoid, though. So I want us to be reputable. I want our reputation to really be solid. And so I would never send you into a place that I haven't, vetted first, basically is the point. So realistically, even though I said, the goal is Dallas, like I said, and then Mexico and Costa Rica. Shit, Dallas could have 3 locations. We could find 3 partners out here. Granted, people out here in Dallas, they seem pretty on board with what I'm talking about, but also it's the factor of how do we bridge the gap of the fees, because there are costs involved that I'm trying to eliminate from the equation, like I said. So when you get out to one of the cozy nomad locations, all you have to worry about is just like bringing yourself. The food aspect is handled through Cozy Cafe, which is part of our ecosystem. Our plant-based comfort food, nom nom nom. I got this black bean burger that I made yesterday, y'all. You ever taste something so good it just make you want to just like you just want to scream? Like you ever eat something so good it make you mad? Like why is it so good? Mm. I've been making so much stuff lately, just trying different things, because that's a factor of Cozy Nomad as well. When you come here, I don't want you to have to worry about buying DoorDash. I don't want you to be getting stuff from, third party locations and having to spend an arm and a leg because we're not paying for that. No, y'all do have to eat, and I would prefer for you to eat through Cozy Cafe. I would prefer for y'all to go be buying stuff from folks and you don't even know if it's gonna be good or not. At least you get it from us and you know it's gonna be delicious, okay? And we deliver it right to you as well. But anywho, do I want to discuss anything else? Does anybody want to ask any questions that may be up in here? Let me go to the site real fast and see, because I can't necessarily see who's watching from the website. Ciao. And then on the website, I made a little boo boo. Okay, I said that I was gonna be starting an hour later than what I actually started. So that's my bad. I'll make sure it's correct next week. Well, we won't be back here again until the 21st. By the way, if y'all want to meet me at the next event, the New Earth Party, that is happening in 2 hours, and I will link it. No, I'm not gonna link it in the chat because I'm not gonna link it in the chat. I'm gonna just say this: if you want to pull up, send me a direct message on Threads or Instagram. I'm the same name every place. The Mystical Misfit. Beep beep. Y'all, Come on. Stop. Okay. Yeah. Child, y'all just be on the internet doing anything you want to do, huh? Okay. I can't see it. Doesn't it won't show me who's watching. Anywho, I'm gonna put a link in the chat for Creative Exchange as well as Cozy Nomad if you want to learn more about those two things. And we'll be back here on what I say, the 21st, whatever I said 5 minutes ago. That's when we'll be back. And next time that I'm back, I'm going to actually give you guys a tour of our ecosystem. So when I did this last month, I did the same thing, gave you guys a tour of the ecosystem, but I tried each open house, I try to do something different or have a different topic. So that is not, so repetitive. Oh, that's why. It's telling me to sign in so I can chat. Can I just get in because it's me streaming? Hello? Let me in. Oh. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I don't think yeah, I'm not even, I wasn't even sending you guys the right thing. Hold on. Creative Exchange. I was about to give you access to something that you're not supposed to have access to that now. Wait a minute. Okay. Child, wait a minute now. Why it look like that? See, it's not coming up as a link. Let me try this again. I don't know what's happening. Do I have to like? Okay, hold on. This is what I'm saying, man. Lately, I've been having some tech issues. Like it's been happening a lot actually, and that's starting to get on my nerves. I've also been thinking about this too. Like, what are we gonna do if the internet goes down one time? Like, I mean, the internet done went down before, right? But you guys remember that big, I don't know if it was a blackout per se, but it was something where Canva, of course, Twitter and all the other apps, like everything was down. And they were saying like it was like a nationwide, like it was something that had happened and everything had went down and people was tripping. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't get access to this and that. I said, now that's exactly why you need to have you a backup plan, because what is you gonna do when the internet goes down? Now, I'm not gonna be one of them people that's spewing that propaganda about the fact that, you know, there won't be no internet no more. There's gonna be internet. We're living in the digital age. But like what that looks like moving forward though, is gonna be very different than what we've been seeing these last 2 decades. And mostly that's because again, we're getting back to that space where people want substance, and this is another reason why I was thinking about how I invite people in, because okay, y'all, I'll link both things because I prefer, quality over quantity any day. And I feel like the only way to ensure that I can have quality is if I one by one invite people in, not just this mass, hey, everybody come on in, the doors are open. No, they're not. They're not open. Okay. I put both links in the chat. The doors are open right now though. The door's open right now, but will the doors just be open? No. Mm-mm. Hell no. But anywho, I have nothing else. I don't have not a damn thing. I do have things that I gotta do though. So I would love to get to that if that's okay with y'all. You know, um I will do my best to come here twice a month, and if it's not me, it'd be somebody else. But I'll do my best to ensure that these open houses happen twice a month. And ultimately, I want you to be able to leave here with information that is valuable to you, but also if it's some type of some type of challenge, or some type of struggle that you're experiencing, this is also the perfect opportunity to explore what solutions we have available here, or what solutions we can connect you to. And again, the point is progress, right? Progress. And also if the aligning feels aligned, come on in and be a part of what we're doing, because we're always looking for partners, but partnerships that are mutually valuable, right? So we got a very clear understanding of what we're providing and what value we can add to anyone else's team. But it's a matter of what y'all gonna do for us now, because we're not looking for promotion and all of that. What we're really looking for are people that want to ultimately build with us, people that want to go out and find properties for cozy nomad. I know a property owner in such and such that's willing to offer one of their apartments for cozy nomad for 3 months. Okay, great, bet we love that. Things like that will be super beneficial to us, and we already have systems and a program in place for those who are doing referrals and things like that. We don't just, ask you to do something for us and then we don't got nothing for you. Everything's not barter based, okay? We do like to compensate people for anything that they add of value to whatever we're building, whether that's connecting us with another client or connecting us with an investor or whatever the case. But obviously I don't want that to be the primary focus. I don't want people to be thinking, let me do this for them so I can get a couple of dollars. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Not on my watch, boo. But we are looking for partners for sure. We're looking for partners. We're looking for people that want to create with us. We got some projects coming up in the next couple of months, specifically with Rare Records. So if you are a music artist or music artists that would be interested in sharing their story and sharing their art with us, we have a space that we're curating currently, so that you can share your story and share what you love, and do it in a no pressure environment too. Because I feel like, listen, I won't be the dead horse, but I'll just say this: we want this shit to be real. Okay, we want it to feel real. We want you to come into anything that we're doing and feel like you could just come in there and be yourself. We don't want you to feel like you have to put on a mask or be something that you're not, because hmm, mm-mm, please no. We want you to enjoy being yourself, because I definitely enjoy being myself, and I don't feel like it's fun if it's not real. So I'll tell you more about the Velvet Room. I'll tell you more about how universe and all that good stuff if you are interested in knowing about these different releases, and you want to know when certain things are launching. Then get on the newsletter, and that again is houseofwolf.co, so you can sign up for that and stay in the loop. Okay, so this is a space for everybody that wants to stay ahead of the curve. So I guess I will see you again next week. No, week after next. Let me get the dates together real quick. Yeah, the 21st. I'm gonna put this down on my calendar so I don't forget. So next week next open house we're gonna do an ecosystem tour. Now this is a little bit of a different experience, so we won't be doing this through YouTube. We'll be doing it through Google because I'm gonna share my screen with you guys and let you guys see the inside rooms. You're gonna get a chance to look at what the public cannot see, okay? Because there are aspects of what we're building that is not for public spectacle, okay? And so that is gonna happen next open house, and hopefully by next open house I have some really good news for you because again I'm working on landing some funding for our first partner location out in Dallas, so that somebody will be able to stay at the Cozy Nomad for 30 days for the free. Okay. Okay. I'll see you guys next open house. Unless there's something I'm missing. Hold on. Let me sit here for a minute. Because I remember last time I got off and I was like, damn, I forgot to mention such and such. Hold on. You know, I'm getting sick of these commercials, YouTube. You ain't gonna get me to get no thing though. You know they do that to you to try to get you to they do that to you to try to get you to get that damn YouTube subscription. They can kiss my toe. They can kiss my big toe. Um I feel like I am forgetting to tell y'all something. Hold on. Just wait a minute now. Just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell y'all. So a few months ago, it's probably been about 5 months now, to be honest. But anywho, back in 2025, I had released a playbook. Okay, it was the Young Rich or the Rested Rich and Fine playbook. Right now, oh, let me turn homegirl down real quick. That playbook actually is. I shouldn't have released it. I'm gonna be honest, but it doesn't matter. Listen, we're not focusing on that. I released this playbook, um, and it is literally our entire operating system. It is the exact framework that I use to leave my 9 to 5. And within this playbook, it's like a step-by-step process. It's not just, some theoretical shit or, myth. It's literally like this is what you need to do first, and create your plan, blah blah blah, right? Now this is not some gatekeeping stuff, okay? I'm not about to say, okay, in order for you to get access to this, you gotta, go through this loop and jump through this hurdle, and it's not all of that. But if you want to get access to this is part of the how universe or how you framework, right? So you can't actually get the playbook if you can't get the playbook yet, but if you are signed up for House of Wolf, you will get a notification when the first version or the first segment, yes, the first segment of this playbook is released. Because what I realized is this playbook is like 100 pages long, okay? It's a lot of details in there, because I'm not just talking about, once you leave your how to leave your 9 to 5. I'm telling you what to do once you leave your 9 to 5. I'm telling you how to build your business up. I'm telling you about the branding aspect. I'm telling you every core piece that you need in order to truly step into sovereignty. And so saying that to say, if I gave you the playbook, because there were, I want to say, like 6 or 7 people that I gave access to the playbook to, right? If you have that old playbook, scrap that playbook first of all, because I've updated some of the worksheets, as well as rebuilt the beginning aspect of the playbook, but the framework is still the same, and you'll understand what I mean once you get inside and see it all. If you've already seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But point being is, scratch that, don't use that no more, because I know I was telling y'all for months. I was like, hey, make sure you get your playbooks, make sure you use your framework. Don't use the framework right now, because I'm going to be walking through with you guys step by step, and I'm going to do what I said that I wanted to originally do, which is build the video aspect of it, because I feel like it's so much easier for you to follow along if you have like a guide. You have my voice saying, okay, so today is day one, today is week one. We're starting with this first, and you kind of like, you're going through the playbook, but you're going through it with me. So I'm going to have some video aspects, and then there's going to be just like audio aspects, but the point is I'm going to be walking you through it, all of it, with you. So it's not just like a self-guided thing, because I know some people were saying that it felt super overwhelming. It's like, there's so much in here, girl. And I'm like, I know, but that's because that's life. Like, literally, if you really want sovereignty, it's not going to happen just because you blink your eyes and say you want to be free. In order to be free, you have to build up to that, and in order to leave your job, you have to have a solid plan. And so yeah, this playbook is going to be slow released, okay, over the course of the next 12 months, and the goal is to ultimately by 2026 have a good chunk of y'all. And when I say a good chunk, I mean more than 100 people, okay. So more than 100 people, I want y'all to have successfully left your 9 to 5, okay. No more hustle, no more just getting by, no more survival mode, okay. And this is something that I feel, I the reason why I made it like the spine of House of Wolf is because this is what I was doing, surviving while I was building House of Wolf, all these years, being in survival mode and still holding fast to this vision. I don't know, that just shows immense dedication, obviously, but also it just shows me that, like, I'm building this for a reason, because I'm not the only one that's building something and trying to build while also trying to survive. And I don't want it to be like that, because that shit was hard, it was hard sometimes not having stable places to live, or having a stable place to live, but feeling like I got to get the hell out of here because it's still unstable, the environment itself. Whether it's the neighbors, or whether it's the slumlord or whatever, right? And so yeah, that it just pretty much it encapsulates everything that I was talking about with the creative exchange and with Cozy Nomad of this operating system. And so yeah, the Rested Rich and Fine playbook is part of the Wolf operating system, which is like, there's so many things. Oh my gosh, girl, listen, it will all make sense once I let you inside piece by piece, because this is a large ecosystem, as I said. And I've thought of everything. Because I don't want you to just be, aesthetically looking like you're doing good. I want you to actually be doing good. I want you to actually have ditched the hustle mode, and I want you to truly be living your wildest dreams. No side quests. Okay. Okay. So my goal is by the end of February. Now I can't make that promise. Actually, I kind of can. Low key, I can. I can make that promise. By the end of February, I'm going to be releasing the first version of this playbook to you guys. We'll be going through it together. Okay. I have infused some of my favorite aspects of what I've been doing on a spiritual tip, which also was something that I wanted to say really fast too. Is I recognize how my creative my creative side is only fueled by my spiritual side. I can't creatively show up the way I need to if I'm not spiritually where I need to be. You understand? And that's not about being that's not about like being on a spiritual journey anymore. That's more so just about being a spirit who's having a human experience. And because of that, I have to just be tapped in all the time. Because when I'm tapped in, there's a difference between when I'm not tapped in and my work just feels like it's cool, but it's not, you know. And so a lot of stuff happening this month, y'all. A lot of stuff happening this month. If you want to be a part of it, and specifically if you want to get access to uh, How Universe, you know where to find me. Okay. I can't wait to see y'all next month. I mean, wait, shit. I keep saying, okay, when you're supposed to be here. Okay, so be here when you're supposed to be here, or be square. Okay. All right. If I forgot something or didn't finish talking about something, that's okay. Send me a message, okay? And I'll catch y'all on Threads or shit, just Threads at this point. I ain't messing with these websites, okay? These platforms are terrible. Goodness. But anyway, I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of your Saturday. And if you're joining us for the New Earth Party, I sent um an email yesterday that has the link for, or no, that's not true. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna email everybody that is on the winner circle the New Earth Party link. Okay. All right, ciao. I'm sending it right now. Look. But the drama talk, the rhythm rewind. Yeah. March, the empty parts them sing. Make this struggle swing. March. March. We are carrying the load. Footprints come the freedom road. Footprints come the freedom road. I heard what clung. The ancestors come. Did it delete it? Rise up tall. We never fall. From the mountain peak to the valley low. One step forward, the fire glow. Unity on the shield, love on the sword. The kingdom rise. When we walk with Jah. New Earth Party. Just in case. Okay, y'all, I'm out. I know I should have hit stop a long time ago. That's the ADHD. I just wanted to make sure I don't forget. Oh, and also spam. Okay, bye, y'all. What's it called when you add something to your contacts? day. Period. See, I don't know how to disconnect off this thing. That's why I was taking my sweet time. I'm gonna be honest. Because I'm on the desktop. Oh, there goes the button. Child.